We've all heard the advice, right? Just be more confident. It's everywhere. The kind of thing people say like it's a magic switch you can just flip. But what if that's all wrong? What if the real key isn't about trying to feel more confident, but about building something so solid, so real, that confidence just doesn't matter anymore? That's what we're diving into today. This powerful idea to stop chasing a feeling and start building hard evidence.
I mean, just let that sink in for a second. Confidence without evidence is a delusion. This single sentence is pretty much the foundation for this whole way of thinking. It's basically saying that just trying to pump yourself up with pure belief isn't just a temporary fix, it's a fantasy. The goal isn't to find a feeling, it's to build a fact. So that begs the question, right? If just believing in yourself isn't the real path, then what is? How do you actually get to a place where success feels less like a long shot and more like, well, the most likely outcome? Let's get into how it actually works. Okay, first, let's break down why that common advice usually falls flat. We're calling this section the confidence delusion because it gets right to the heart of the mistake, chasing a feeling instead of building a reality. Think about it like this. You can stand in front of a mirror and repeat, "I'm an amazing public speaker," 100 times. But that feeling, it just vanishes the second you're on stage and you realize you're unprepared. What you actually need is a mental stack of receipts. You need undeniable proof, logged evidence of every single time you prepared, you practiced, and you delivered. That's what holds up under pressure, the proof, not the pep talk. So this really brings us to a head-to-head comparison. This is where the two mindsets totally split. It really is the battle of belief versus proof. Look at this. On the left, under belief, it's all passive stuff, right? Affirmations, wishing, this vague idea of feeling ready. It's all in your head, based on hope. Now look to the right, under proof. It's all action, repetitions, working. And here's the real kicker. You go from just feeling ready to actually being ready. One is a fragile state of mind, the other is a rock-solid track record.
So, if we can't just think our way out of self-doubt, what's the move? Well, this is where we get to the core strategy, and it's all about action. It's about literally outworking your self-doubt. And here it is, the big lesson. You don't beat self-doubt by arguing with it. You make it irrelevant. You just bury it under a mountain of repetition. That tiny voice in your head that whispers, "What if you mess up?" Well, it gets quieter and quieter with every successful rep, until eventually, it's got nothing left to say. And this isn't just some motivational fluff. There's real science behind this. It's a psychological principle called stimuli habituation. Now, it sounds fancy, but the idea is super simple. The more you do something, the less of an emotional gut punch it gives you. It's exactly why your first day at a new job is nerve-wracking, but your 100th day is just another Tuesday. Your brain's already seen it all. And this is what that feels like. It's no longer some big, scary unknown. It's just what you do. Your competence is so baked in that it becomes automatic. You've done the thing so many times, you actually forget to be nervous about it. Okay, so we've got the why down. Now for the how. How do you actually put this into action? It all starts with a very real, very measurable target. We're gonna call it the 10,000 rep rule. 10,000. Yeah, let that number just hang there for a second. I know, it sounds like a lot, but the magic isn't just in the number itself, it's in what you're counting. And this part is absolutely critical. We're not talking about 10,000 hours of just vague practice. We're talking about 10,000 specific, successful iterations. So if you're a writer, it's not 10,000 hours staring at a screen, it's 10,000 sentences edited and perfected. If you're in sales, it's 10,000 successful cold calls. You are counting wins, not just hours on the clock. And the best part is, you can start this right now with 3 really simple steps. First, isolate the skill. Get super specific about the one core thing that actually moves the needle. Second, define one rep. What does one successful unit of that work actually look like? Be precise. And third, start counting. I don't care if it's a notebook, a spreadsheet, or one of those little clicker counters, just start logging every single successful rep. So what's on the other side of all this? What happens when you've put in the work? You reach a state that we can only describe as becoming undeniable. This is the ultimate payoff. This quote just says it all, doesn't it? When you've done it 1,000 times, you won't be nervous because you've seen every way it can fail. Think about what that means. Real confidence isn't about believing you won't fail. It's the deep, quiet knowledge that you've already seen and handled every possible way it could fail back in practice. There are no surprises left.
And that's the final shift. You've officially crossed over from the shaky world of belief to the solid ground of proof. You stop chasing that fleeting feeling of confidence because, honestly, you just don't need it anymore. You have something so much more powerful, so much more permanent, a verifiable record that you know what you're doing. So, we'll end with a question for you. Forget the affirmations, forget the wishful thinking. Ask yourself this: what's the one skill that matters most? And what is the undeniable proof, the one rep that you can start stocking today?